Right now, the anime community is dealing with a lot of upheaval. We've had prominent figures of all stripes, voice actors, public figures, writers, mangaka, and all that, being brought to task for frankly unspeakable offenses. This is not a video about who did what, but what we do as a community about the things that have been created and produced by those people after the fact. There are a lot of people doing a lot of soul searching right now, and I can't say for certain that what I've got to say is going to salve any concerns, but maybe it'll help order some thoughts for some of y'all. Now, here's the part where I would make up some hypothetical about what would happen if somebody who created one of my favorite works suddenly ended up being a pedophile. But why create a hypothetical when it already fucking happened? So, Nobuhiro Watsuki, responsible for Rurouni Kenshin, and more importantly to my side of the story, Busa Rankin, got caught with underage porn. Well, son of a bitch, right? I bought the manga and the anime and a couple figures. Do I launch them into the dumpster? Do I set them on fire? Well, no. The money has been spent years ago. Why waste it in a perfunctory act of protest? Doubly so for those Rurouni Kenshin fans who are looking sideways at their huge manga collections and wondering what to do about it. You weren't to know, so don't beat yourself up for it. And that's kind of the crux of this entire argument. This is especially important to remember because as Western consumers, there's a level of separation between us and the direct sponsoring of mangaka in Japan. Viz Media gets Shonen Jump, the licenses that come with it, and then they make books accordingly. They pay for the books to be translated and printed and all that, and then you buy the book. Now, somewhere along the line, some of that money does go to the parent company, which will pay into whatever they're paying for Kenshin, but by that point it's been passed around and melted into everything else, so it's not really a direct line. And that's when it comes to manga specifically. When it comes to anime in the States, when you buy that box, you're paying the company for licensing, packaging, printing, and dubbing if it gets dubbed. You're paying for a finished product far, far removed from the original production of the anime, and farther still removed from their creator if it was based on a manga. Now, they are, of course, receiving some recompense after the fact, but so is the studio that made it and everything in between to get it from there to here. Large-scale productions like an anime come with a tacit agreement built in that it's a team effort. Now, you could argue that this tacit agreement has been violated by this retroactively, and I would not argue against that. This is hard to take. It's hard to let something like this slide. But I don't think we as viewers and consumers of media should punish ourselves for things that have only recently come to light. Now, am I going to get in on the next thing he does? Hell no. I'll think twice before I even read Busa Rankin again, but I also have good memories and good experiences attached to it. The memories are important to me, certainly helping me think of happier times, but as far as I'm concerned, he's done. So what do we do now with Fullmetal Alchemist, now that Vic has been cut out of most of the anime community for over a decade of reprehensible behavior in his back pocket? What do we do with all the other things he's worked on since he came on the scene? Well, I think the fact that he's persona non grata in the anime community right now is a good fucking start. But we as consumers don't have to rend our garments and look inwards when we should be saying, fuck off and get out of here, you dirty fuck. Dubbing teams are a team, and yes, some actors get more prominent than others, but it's not only going to be one person. It's actually going to way more people than just the one who's a problem. Look, there's no such thing as ethical consumption under capitalism, and it's much worse when you're looking at entertainment. The nice thing in this case is that all the merch and various and sundry other stuff doesn't have him attached to it. And the people who have grown up with FMA prominently in their orbit can still appreciate it, again, from memories of a happier time. If anything, you should keep those series to appreciate the work everyone else put into it in spite of Vic's slime trail on it. Such a shame he was hit by that big truck known as Karma. I guess that's the gist of this whole thing. Everything you watched and enjoyed up to this point, where the person in question turned out to be a dirtbag, is still valid. And now the proper thing to do is stop supporting what they do. The most important thing we can do going forward is to adapt to new information when you get it. That's really the only thing you can do as we try to hold people accountable for whatever comes to light. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but the more vigilant we are against this sort of thing, the less disappointment we'll face down the road, because hopefully we'll run them out of the anime industry altogether. So in the spirit of that, I would say, take Marie Kondo's advice and ask yourself, does this bring you joy? And if the answer is no, pitch it. And if the answer is yes, hang on to it. Maybe in a couple of years, once this all blows over and sorts out, you'll think twice about it, or maybe there'll be a new edition that comes out. As a consumer of media and entertainment, you are not responsible directly for any of the bad things that have happened. I hope that gives some of you some peace on the matter. All we can really do is prepare for the next wave and hope it's less terrible.